we are going to talk about digital marketing and mobile today. Now, mobile apps is something which, I mean, whether you want to find a place where you want to go and pee, whether you want to go and see whether your heart rate is okay, whether you want to know how many steps that you walked in a day using wearable technology. Mobile apps is a booming landscape, and almost everyone today has a mobile app or is planning to launch a mobile app. So we'll talk a little bit more about how mobile applications are changing our lives. Again, the numbers are overwhelming in terms of mobile phone adoption in India. We are close to 1 billion mobile phones, and I think 8 to 10% of those are smartphones that are being used today. So today there is an app pretty much for everything that you can imagine, and a lot of things that you couldn't imagine, even those are available in app format. Again, the big challenge today in my experience as a digital marketer is, if I were to rewind this maybe 10 years back or 7 or 8 years back, it's the equivalent of what a website was in the perception of a marketing mix. It was like, acha, everybody has to have a website, so we need to have a website. So I think there was more a sense of whether we would be left behind as a business or as a marketer, rather than a genuine understanding of the need of what the website would address. So that's exactly what the situation was about 10 years back as far as the web ecosystem was concerned. I think we've sort of arrived at the doorstep of mobile applications pretty much with the same kind of a mindset, and almost everyone I meet today is like, acha, to we need a mobile app. If you ask another 2 or 3 questions around that, you will find that the logic and the requirements sort of disintegrate a bit. So my sense is that we are going to go through a wave between now and the next 2 or 3 years where everybody will build their app, out of reason to check that box out of the marketing mix, saying that, we definitely need to have a mobile app. It has to be on Android, it has to be on iOS, it has to be on Windows, so I'm actually kind of skipping a few chapters ahead of that, and both web and social media actually went through the same wave, and it would be prudent to understand how those waves went in order to preempt some of the mistakes or preempt some of the challenges that happened in that space, and apply some of the learnings in the mobile application space. So clearly one of the big tickets is that, yes, you build a mobile app, yes, you make it available on every app store. So your reach and your distribution is pretty much taken care of. So anybody who wants to have your mobile app will have it. You do a big bang marketing campaign, you get everybody to download it on their phones. Done. The challenge actually begins after this point. The challenge actually begins when you have to make it relevant for a user. You have to make it a continuous and a frequently used application in the life of the user. Now, how you do that is actually going to be the big challenge for mobile apps going forward. So essentially, how do you ensure engagement for a mobile app which a user has already experienced and consumed, and it's lying on his phone? So access is not a problem, distribution is done. So as a marketer, your real big challenge is that, can you get him or her to start using the phone, engaging the person with relevant information, relevant content, relevant offers, depending on what category that you're coming in from, and make it worth his or her while to access the phone application at least once a week. If the user isn't using your application at least once a week, chances are that he's going to be using one of his apps, and there are apps who do this for you today, which tell you how often you use apps on your phone. And if it's below a certain percentage, then it's going to get purged. So that's a very real situation today, because smartphones, the processors are getting faster, so they can handle more and more apps today at a time. But if your app is sitting in a clutter of several different apps and it's kind of not being used, then chances are that you haven't actually succeeded in engaging with that customer. So broadly, there are 2 or 3 reasons why mobile applications become relevant for users. One is for consuming content and understanding what the user needs and giving him that content on a regular basis. That's one. The second one is utility. Actually, utility should be number one. The second one is utility. If somebody wants to find a place, he uses a map. He wants to kind of pay his phone bills, he wants to pay electricity bills, he wants to verify some person he wants to work with, he wants to verify a business. So anything that requires utility and aids decision making at, on the go. So that's utility. And the third one is commerce. So anything which enables you to actually buy something like a Flipkart or an Amazon. You want to order a guitar, you want to order clothes, you want to order sunscreen, you want to order fresh vegetables. Sky's the limit today in terms of what is being ordered online on mobile. So again, critical for you to understand out of these three buckets where you're positioning your mobile application. Which of these three needs are you actually squarely meeting? And when I say squarely meeting, attention spans of users are going down. So within a click or two, you need to have engaged the user and given him what he needs. The moment that doesn't happen, you're running into a bit of a problem. So as a brand, as a marketer, now one has to think beyond just checking the mobile app box to say that we've got one and it's there and it's available, and reach the next drill down level, which is that, what exactly is the mobile app doing for the user? Are we meeting his requirement on any of these three buckets at the point that he needs that information? So in order to do that, you need to have your content updated regularly. You need to have offers if you're doing e-commerce. If it's a utility, you need to keep rethinking how you can make it more efficient, how you can make it more relevant, whether it's using emerging technologies like face recognition, augmented reality, fingerprint technologies, RFID technologies. So the technologies could be complex and they are plentifully available. Our challenge as marketers, as custodians of the digital environment, it's important that we use these technologies and simplify it so that it's easy for a user to use it within a tap or within a click of the phone.